Oh my gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing, dummy? What? I can't. You're an idiot. You're stupid. Already. I'm not even off my street yet. Already. Good morning, it's Monday, 7:20. Oh boy. Is this an indication of how things are going to be today? Is it? Oh, what a nice weekend it was. It's over, obviously. Way too fast for my liking, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Mama's gotta bring home the kibble. Oh, who's this? Sorry, dude. I need better glasses to read that sign. It's all crumbly. Did I do this right? Yeah, I have my helmet on right. Yeah, I like this pin lock. It's working, but I need to adjust my glasses here. My glasses tend to go up a little bit when they should be lower. I hate wearing glasses, you guys. Ugh. Working on the computer a lot in school and everything, and it's just the worst thing ever. And today I start how many classes do I have? I have 3 classes. I'm taking 7 units because I want to get my salary points up because I'm sick of making crappy money. So I took 6 units last semester. Now it's 7 units. I really need to brush up on my piano skills, so taking a piano class. Some things I've taken before, but it's been a long time. Some of these things, are going to take a lot of my time, I think. I hate taking classes now. I don't know why. I guess because I'm so busy. I love learning, but it's I don't know. You just get so busy and you just get tired and you're just oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to write this paper. I don't want to look at this video. I don't want to put comments in and respond to people's messages and gotta respond to one person or 2 people. Respond to 2 people because everything's online, so your participation is crucial anyway. Well, I didn't tell you guys what happened Friday. Friday was a good day in that 4th period, but it was a good day for those boys because I basically gave everybody an easy assignment online because I wanted to work with gosh dang, man. I wanted to work with the advanced guitars. So I had Alan put in the points for the days that I was absent and just kind of catch up on things while I worked with them. So the class is pretty filled. We got about 40 some students and most of them are beginners. They're all in one class thanks to our counselors who are amazing. Anyway, so it's kind of hard to if you need to sit next to somebody, I just kind of basically have them sit up in front with me for a little bit so I can show them how to do something, whatever it is. And so what the hell happened? Oh, my pedal, that's what happened. Stupid thing. The karaoke mini board moved. It went back. That's why I had a hard time in that light coming to a stop. Anyway, I'm not waiting for you. You're too slow. So if I need to work with a specific student, I'll just bring him to my spot, which is in the front, and they face me they're not facing the class. So I'm on the side because I have them separated. So I have beginners on one side and advanced on the other, right? So as I was at my desk, I could hear one of our guitar players who's playing first guitar. I could hear him playing these 2 measures wrong, right? It's close, but it's not right. So I mosey on over to help him, and so I said, oh, he's a 7th grader. I said, oh, can you, it's the 2nd year in the program. I said, can you come on over to me, because I can't sit next to you, like I can't fit, right? And he's like, oh, okay. So he comes on over, and I said, you almost have this right. I go, but just a few things wrong. So I show him, and he goes, well, that's not right, because Mr. says that we have to swing it. And I said, well, that is true. We are going to swing it, but before we could swing it, we have to play the rhythm right. So I'm going to play it straight. I'm not going to swing it, so you can hear the rhythm better, right? So he's like, oh, all right. So I play it for him. I'm like, okay, now you play it. I think he got it right on the 5th time. Something smells weird out here. It smells like food or something out here. Yeah, not liking that. So he gets it right on the 5th time, somewhere around there. I'm like, oh great, that's wonderful, right? So then I hear our 8th grader who plays that same part, first guitar, I hear him playing it wrong, and I'm like, oh man, why are these guys getting this rhythm wrong, you know? Like, and I kind of get it. It's a little tricky rhythm. And so this 8th grader, he was an outstanding guitarist his first year in the program. He was a 6th grader. He worked really hard for that, to get his name on that plaque. And the 7th grade year, he kind of slacked off. He was into some girl that was in our class, and who's still there. He doesn't even talk to her, look her away, nothing. But he was all into her, helping her, and I could tell he liked her. And then I don't know what happened, but he won't even go near her now, right? So whatever, no big deal. That shit happens. So, gosh, people, move, Cooper, move it. So he sits in the back, and you know, this little cool 8th grader, whatever, thinks it's really cool, and he's playing it wrong. So I tell him, can you come up front, and I'm going to work with you on this part. So he's kind of like, he looks at me, and then he looks at the 7th grade like, ugh, like I got to sit next to him. And I'm like, it's just for a little bit, just so I can show you. And he's like, all right. So he comes over reluctantly, of course. Comes over, and I clapped it for him, like, okay. And I kind of like sang it, like, that's how it goes. And then I start to play it with him, and then the 7th grader starts playing it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because he's still sitting next to me too, right? So I said, no, I didn't ask you to play it. And he goes, well, I'm playing it for him because I know how to do it right. And I said, I know you know how to do it right, but I don't need you to play it for him. I'll play it for him. And he's like, oh. So then I start again, and he starts playing along with me. And I'm like, what? I just told you I don't want you to play. He goes, well, I was just playing along with you. And I said, I don't want you to play along with me. You're playing out of turn. And he goes, oh. He's like, but I know how. I said, I know you know how to do it. So I turn around, I look at that 8th grader's face, and he's just like just total despising this 8th grader. I mean, this 7th grader. He's like, totally despising that 7th grader. Like, ooh, you think you know everything? You think you know it all? Like, how are you? Who are you to show me? I've been in this program longer, and I'm an 8th grader. Like, I could just see it all, right? I'm getting the vibe really strong. So I want this kid to basically shut the fuck up and mind his own business, but he's still sitting there. So then after I show this kid, the 8th grader gets it. I'm like, okay, cool. You can go back to your seat. gets his chair, goes back to his spot in the back that he likes. And then I tell everybody, okay, we're gonna go through half the piece, because now we know half the piece. And I look at the 7th grader who's still sitting next to me. Now his chair's facing the class, right, with me. And I said, you can go back. I said, you can move your chair back in the group. And he goes, no, I like staying here. And I said, what? I go, no. He goes, no, I like staying here. I said, well, I want you to sit with the other students. And he goes, Mister lets me stay up here. He lets me stay up here every time we play this song. And I said, well, I'm asking you to go back with the group. Like, what the heck, dude? You're not a solo artist. You're not the star of the group. I don't get it. I was like, no. Like, ooh, look at me. I could do it. Wait till everybody gets a load of me. That kind of thing. I was like, no. And so then, instead of moving his damn chair over with the group, he plays it again. And he plays it fast. It's like, ooh, look at me. Look at what I can do. So then I looked at him and I said, yeah, I'm not asking you to play. And I go, by the way, I go, we're not playing it that fast right now. And he goes, well, Mister said we're going to be playing it that fast. I said, yeah, maybe later. I go, but not everybody can play it that fast right now. And he's like, ah! Like, that's the funniest thing ever, right? Oh, nobody else can play it as fast as I can. That's funny. And then he's still sitting there. And I said, no. I go, you need to move with the other students. So he's like, oh, okay. And he goes back. So I was telling Alan about this after class, like, what the heck, dude? What are we creating here? And he's like, did you want to tell him to shut the fuck up? And I said, yes. I go, well, of course I can't. I go, but gosh, what an asshole. You're an idiot. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're really dumb. Dumb. Fucking idiot. Duh. I swear these people. Stop doing it. Stop going over the double line. It's illegal. Anyway, so I'm telling Alan, I said, you know, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing. And this kid is so... When I had him last year, this kid was ideal. The ideal student that you want. He's still pretty ideal, but to do all that and not listen to me and act like he's the boss and like, oh, I can stay here. Mister lets me stay here. Well, I don't like that. And sometimes that happens with students when they work with somebody other than the teacher. It kind of gets like that, like what they said and this and they said and that, and it's like, so it's important. Don't do it. It's important that they also understand I'm teaching the class. Like, they can't just, well, I'm going to do this because so-and-so says that. I'm going to do this because so-and-so says that. It's like, and Alan tells them too. He's like, listen to what she's telling you. She's your teacher. Like if they ask me for something, like, if they want, like, something really basic, like, I want to go to the restroom, like, they'll go over to him because they know, oh, he's more likely to let me go to the restroom than she is, because that's just the way it is. I don't like kids going to the restroom when I'm teaching. It's because you got to start all over. This is not, you know, they miss a lot, especially the girls. They stay in there forever. So it's like, I'll say no. You should have done that before you came. Unless it's an absolute emergency, then yeah, of course you can go. And sometimes for the girls that can be, but it's like half the time it's just like, I just want to look at my hair. I want to look at my makeup, make sure it looks good. So, I don't know. I sense a disrespect from this kid, and I don't like that. And I've met his mom before. I've never met his dad. His dad they're both super supportive. But I know his dad is away on business sometimes, and, you know, he's not always there. But his mom, I met her at our last concert, and she's super nice. She's very supportive with his education in all areas. That kid's a straight A student. You know, he calls you by your last name, like, respectfully. Some kids just call you miss. or Mr. He says your full name like he's not. When he says, when you say, oh, how was your weekend? He'll say, oh, it was really nice or something, or we did this, and he'll say, and how was your weekend? Like, he's mature for his age, but then he starts doing this kind of stuff, and I'm like, who are you? Where'd you come from? I don't know, it's weird. I just hope he's not going to end up like, I don't know, with a big head to the point where he can't even get through the door. I had kids like that, and I'm like, it's a double-edged sword, you guys, because you want kids that are talented. You want kids that are, you know, eager to learn and they're interested and they practice and all that stuff. But sometimes, like I had a kid that was really good at percussion, naturally good, took lessons before he came to our class, and he turned into a little monster. It was horrible. I had him playing, like, you know, at that point in time, we had a really good jazz band, and I had him playing some really hard percussion parts. He could do it. It was great. Music was great, but he would lie to me about stupid things, like he would lose his music, and then I'd say, like, do you have your music? And he'd say, yeah, I have it right here. And I'd say, well, I want you to play measure 28 for me. And he'd be like, and then he would just make some shit up, and I'm like, that's not measure 28, dude. And he's like, oh, I thought you were talking about, this measure. And I said, no, measure 28. So I'm like, why don't you, let me see your music. And of course, he didn't have it. Of course, it flew away, and of course, he never went to go pick it up. Right, so, but it wasn't only that. It was like he got into my computer one time when I walked out to go to the restroom, and it was after school, and he and another student snuck into the room and were in my computer on my laptop, and I saw them both leaving my room, like running out, and I was like, what are those two up to? And I saw he was messing with my computer. So when I called his mom, you know, that's my school computer. I have all kinds of information on those, all kinds of confidential information about students and addresses and phone numbers. I mean, everything is in there, right? So when his mom came over, and I totally blame this on his parents, because they never made this kid accountable for anything. Oh, he's so talented. Oh, he's so wonderful. Look at how great he plays. He's just a natural, you know. He's, oh, this and oh, that, and da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. Oh, my kid is going to be a star. He's amazing. So that's how they are treating this kid, right? It's like, can't do anything wrong. So his mom comes in with a set of twins who wouldn't keep their hands off my instruments. And I try to tell her, look, you know, I don't want your kids touching that stuff over there. And of course, she didn't do anything about it. She's like, oh, whatever. So she tells me, I'm lucky to have her son in my class. I'm so lucky. He's such a great percussionist. He's so talented. I'm so lucky to have him. Well, at that point, I didn't feel so lucky because he was doing all kinds of shit. So the last straw was him getting into my computer. So she tells me, I tell her what happened, and she tells me, well, if it's so confidential and so secretive, your computer here, how come you don't lock it up? How come you didn't have it locked up on your desk? So it's my fault. I said, because I shouldn't have to do that in my own classroom. The door's shut. It's after school. He has no business coming into this room after school. Nobody does, unless they have told me, oh, I want to come and pick up an instrument after school, and therefore I will wait for them. And I'll check an instrument out for them. But that's not the case here. He had no business coming back into my room. Nobody did. And he's on my computer, and he should not be on my computer. She's like, well, I don't think it's right for you to blame my son. And I said, blame him? He got into my computer. I'm letting you know that's unacceptable behavior from him. And you know what? If it happens again, he's not going to be in my program anymore. He's not going to be in my program anymore. And she goes, well, what makes you think that he wants to be in your program anymore? And what makes you think that we want him in your program anymore? And I said, if he doesn't want to be in my program and you don't want him in my program, that's fine with me. You can take him out right now. And he can take an extra math class or an English class at this point because, you know, I don't know what elective is open right now for him to go into. And she said, well, we might just do that. And I said, well, okay, that's fine with me. I have no problem with that. I mean, this lady thinks I'm going to be begging her, like, oh, there's a fire over there. Probably an encampment on fire. At 7:48, doing good time. Like, oh, she's doing me such a big favor by leaving her son, who totally breaks all rules, but I'm supposed to live with that because, oh, he's so great. He's so wonderful. Look at him. He's a star. So talented. He's just a natural. It's like, shut up. Treat your son some responsibility here of his actions. Make him accountable. Stop letting him off the hook just because he could play a drum set, you know? I told my principal that I wrote my principal this long email about this kid because the parents just were not listening. The mother, I don't know what the dad was. I know he was there, but he wasn't the one talking to me. She was, but she didn't understand. Like, you need to tell this kid, tell your son, he needs to stop doing this kind of stuff. It's not okay. And she just wouldn't do it. So I talked to the principal. I sent him an email about this kid, and I was like, I'm done. Because he knew him too. He was like, oh, you know, you're so great. You're so good at these drums. Like, he would add into that too. And I'd be like, oh my God, all right. So he has no idea what a pain in the ass this kid is, right? So I wrote him an email, and he was like, is he there right now? And I said, yeah, he's here. And he goes, okay. He goes, have him wait right there. So he comes in and just lets him have it. I was like, yes, thank you. He said, you know, some of the things that he said, I was like, damn. Like, you know, I know you can play this percussion instrument. I know you can play this, and you know, you think that you're so talented. He goes, well, guess what? He goes, there's about thousands and thousands and thousands of other students that could play that just as good as you, if not better than you. That's what he told him. He goes, that doesn't give you, just because you can play an instrument like this, doesn't give you the right to treat a teacher like this and be so disrespectful. God damn it, people, move. The mother was going to do that. And, yeah, after all was said and done, he came in and he said, you know, thank you for teaching him and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, he actually apologized. He was like, I'm sorry. I know I was a pain in the ass and da la la. I was like, okay, good. I'm glad he's saying that, you know, like he should say that. I was like, I accept your apology, and, you know, it's over, and, you know, just try to learn from it, you know, like we all learn it from our mistakes, hopefully, you know, that's the goal here, right? We learn from our mistakes. And he was like, yeah, he goes, I told my mom I was going to apologize to you. And she said, why? You didn't do anything wrong. No, he didn't do anything wrong. So he took it upon himself, I guess, to do that. And I was helping him out with some stuff, and I walked outside, and his mom was loading some things up in the back of her trunk. And she said, oh, hi, you know, how are you? And I said, I'm doing okay, and blah, blah. So small talk, right? And then she goes, well, I guess this is probably going to be the last time you ever see my son, since he's no longer going to be in school over here. And I said, oh, you know, we might see each other out there somewhere, who knows. Or maybe he'll be back to play with us in a concert. She goes, oh, I doubt it. I said, okay, well, have a nice summer and good luck in high school. Yeah. I don't know what's up with this light. This sucks, though.